Tonight, a man on death row is accusing a former police officer of the crime that put him in prison. Attorneys for Rodney Reed claim Jimmy Fennell killed his fiancée Stacey Stites back in 1996. But after nearly 10 years behind bars for another crime, Fennell was released today in Huntsville. KXAN's Brittany Glass heard from the Stites family members who say they support Fennell.
I guess in a way, part of him died that day too, you know. His life has never been the same.
Although it's painful to think about the day Stacey Stites was murdered, her sister remembers sharing that pain with Stites' fiancé, Jimmy Fennell.
After she was found, he was heartbroken, and I'm the one who really sat with him a lot and held his hand.
And even though Fennell went on to commit a separate violent crime, loved ones of Stites say he didn't kill her.
He's not the murderer in this case. He never was.
Stites' family is convinced the jury got it right the first time. So is Fennell's attorney.
The real killer is Rodney Reed. The individual who raped and murdered her is properly on death row and hopefully will taste justice for his crimes soon.
But Stites' cousin doesn't agree. She was estranged from the family for supporting Reed. Heather Staub says there are too many questions about the evidence and the investigation.
Everybody says, ooh, there's DNA. They stopped and they didn't look at anything else. At the time, no one was willing to accept that his DNA could have gotten there any other way. You know, but it could have gotten there any other way.
Stites' sister, Deborah Oliver, denies that.
Stacey didn't know Rodney, not at any time were they having an affair.
Staub says Reed deserves another trial.
Someone's got to pay for it, and so who's that going to be? So if not Reed, who? That leaves Jimmy.
Oliver says the back and forth speculation has to end.
The difference between Jimmy and Rodney is Jimmy took responsibility for the bad decision that he made, and he served his time and he's paid his commitment to society. I would love for people to leave him alone and let him move on with his life.
In Huntsville, Brittany Glass, KXAN News.
In October, Reed's attorneys presented evidence to try and secure a new trial. In that hearing, an expert medical examiner who has investigated the deaths of JFK and Martin Luther King Jr. disputed the original autopsy. He said evidence shows Stacey Stites was dead before midnight and had no signs of sexual assault. That disputes the state's original case that Reed had raped and killed Stites on her way to work that morning. In the hearing, a statement was read from the original medical examiner saying he didn't have all the information at the time of the investigation, and he no longer believes it was a sexual assault. The hearing also revealed Reed's original attorney admitted she didn't have enough time to prepare for the case. The judge did not recommend Reed be granted a new trial, but it's up to the Court of Criminal Appeals to make that final decision.